Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at the Halloween Cup before the Halloween Cup even starts. It seems to be like the new trend on YouTube to showcase a cup before it even starts. But yeah, let's take a look at this one here. We're going to take a look at the first team that I showcased in my top 10 team video for the Halloween Cup. If you haven't checked that out, you should definitely check it out, as we can take a look at this one here. We're going to have the Sableye in the lead, which is going to allow us to have some kind of resistance against potential Psychic type users like the Ramadan Trash. We have something to bait that thing out with the Golbat as a safe swap. And we have in the back our Toxapex, which is going to be the best Pokemon in this cup. We see it already against us here. And this thing is super bulky and super strong and just is very annoying. We can go for one Shadow Ball here, which is nice. The game lagged a little bit. And we will see that we will be able to knock them out after they go for one Brine. But we should be in a pretty decent spot here. Let's take a look what else we're going to face here. We're going to face a Nidoqueen. I only faced really decent teams. Like, I also played against some people who are usually on the leaderboard, so like it's definitely a very decent way to showcase the new meta. We see the next opponent having a Ninetales in the lead. I'm going to check if it's a Powder Snow or a Charm version, but it's a Charm version, so I have to swap out here immediately. And we get greeted by one Kovac Rigas. Not the best there, but I would say that they might have the Runa Rigas in the back now, because it's a pretty common-ish line. Also kind of on my video as well, as we will see that we got 2 shields from them, and this is all that I really need, because return does still a ton of damage against them. I can shield here once, and I will be able to swap out into my other Pokemon there, into my Toxapex later on, which should be pretty fine here. We can farm them all the way down. The game seems to have some issues right now, it seems like, because we have lag like every single game, but as we expect them to have Rodriguez in the back, we're going to go into our Toxapex, and we have Brine for this Pokemon. And here you see how Brine can be actually pretty decent. This will nearly two-shot them, and this will be enough to get this thing low enough as well to knock them out with the second one, because we have more farm to do here. We can shield up here. It's going to be most likely the bait. It's going to be the Centum, but it doesn't really matter, because we have one move or one return stored on our Sableye. We will be even able to survive one charge move from the Ninetales on our Sableye, so we are definitely fine here. They actually go for one charge move, go for the Side Shock and knock us out, which doesn't really matter, because we can go for one return here, and this will knock out the opponent. Good game there. As we can go into the next game, we're going to see the Sableye vs Sableye. This is of course a matchup that you don't actually really want to face with this team. Sableye is a unique Pokemon for this team. While you have 2 poison types in the back, you only have this Sableye here, so you kind of want to keep it. If they have Wormadam in the back now, it's going to be a little bit tricky, but maybe they run a similar team to mine. We have to see. Foul play comes through. We're going to go for our own foul play, and it seems like we win CMP, which is a very nice information here, because this means we should be able to also maybe farm them down there, but they let the move go through. I let the move go through, and they go to the Toxapex. I should have swapped out earlier, but at least I'm not switch locked, I guess. But this is going to be a tough one now. We're going to have the own Toxapex against their Toxapex. We go straight for the Sludge Wave here. We are locked into this matchup anyway with them, so yeah. I could have also went to my Golbat, but I think that I can just take the moves better here and add some extra energy. So Golbat is also still, like, while it is technically better than the Toxapex in this matchup, it kinda is too squishy in my opinion to take the Brines. So we can just take the moves here way better, and we will be able to have a pretty decent matchup here still. They're gonna go for another charge move, which is going to be the Sludge Wave. We still survive it, and we will be able to go into our Golbat now, farm them all the way down, and we see a MEweedle in the back, which we hardwall with this Pokemon, so that should be pretty nice. We're just going to go straight for the nuke, knock them out, and win this game. Let's see, we can just farm them down here, and we're gonna go into the next battle against for the battles. This is something that also can just happen here, as you're going to see now. We're going to have a very nice matchup here in the lead with the Golurk against us. We will be able to completely knock them out. We have some lag here as well again, but doesn't really matter too much, I guess. I mean, they got some extra farm there, but it's fine. We get the Azumarill as a safe swap, and that's what I say. I wouldn't recommend you to run Azumarill as a safe swap anymore in this meta. It doesn't really make sense anymore, thanks to the Toxapex being in the back, I guess, a lot of times during this time. So unless you faced in the lead already, and then you don't want to say so, but anyway, most people are going to have a Toxapex in the back nowadays, and this will be completely the death of your Azumarill. So a very decent start for us. We hardwall the first Pokemon, we're going to hardwall the second Pokemon, and we will see, I think it's an Umbreon in the back, which we will hardwall as, not really hardwall, but I mean, we still have the health advantage here. We can just go for the Poison Fangs and we will be able to win this game super easily here. So good game there. There's nothing that they can do here really. It's just how it's sometimes going to be. Like, it's something that you also see in Go Battle League in general. There are just matchups that you cannot win whatsoever, and here, like, they had literally no way of winning this. I'm just gonna go straight for the Shadow Ball. I think they have to call the bait here, so I just go straight, and yeah, we knock them out. And at this point of time, the Azumarill just goes down, and we win this game without spending any shield. Next opponent, we're going to see. Actually, I think this was the toughest game that I had. We have Tyranitar in the lead. Tyranitar with Bite basically beats the entire team, which is more like a spicy pick. It's also in my top teams video, but I would actually rather run the Smackdown because it gives you some more damage against most Pokemon, to be honest. Like, against Ghost types, you should be fine anyway, and Smackdown gives you more coverage against Golbat, gives you more coverage against Frostless, and is, in general, I think just a stronger move, to be honest, as you also get to the charge moves a little bit faster. They have also the Shadow Sableye, which kind of walls us here. We go into our own Sableye. We kind of have to keep one shield because of the crunch of this Pokemon. We can go for one move here with the foul play. They're going to let this move go through, and we go into our Toxapex. And we're going to have to shield this move up. Hopefully they don't debuff our defenses here with crunch. But of course they do, and we see a Mawile coming in. This doesn't look too good yet, but we can at least go for some brines and do some damage here. They're going to let the first move go through, but we can definitely go for another one to get the shield from them. And let's see what's going to happen here now. Bone Club comes through, fine for us, we can go for another move. And this should get the shield from them. It does. And we will be able to go now into our own Sableye. We have to farm them down here. Like, there's no other way other than trying to farm them all the way down. We will be able to farm them down, and we will be able to get to another foul play and just barely win this game. So this was like the closest one you had, definitely. So far at least. Let's see what we're going to have next. We're going to have someone with the Obstagoon pose here, having an Obstagoon in the lead. That's actually hilarious. We will be, I didn't know this, like I literally didn't know this. We will go into our goal, but we get kind of hard-walled here by this Venonet, as this thing has the as this thing has the access to confusion. I will be able to, actually should have shielded this, to be honest. I would have been able to realign or like get the final shield by them, but now I will be able to just go into my Sableye. I can take this move, it's going to be resisted. And I will be able to farm them all the way down. And we got one answer out of the way for my Toxapex in the back. We will be able to go for one return here as well. This will do some nice damage. We have to actually shield this move up here. I kind of want to keep my Sableye alive. They go for the Obstruct, and we will see a Frostless coming in. Frostless is supposed to be a very decent matchup against me here. But let's see how true this actually is. We see the Shadow Ball doesn't do enough damage, and we can go for one brine already. This brine will do some nice damage here. Gonna put them at half health, and we can go for another one before they can go for their next move. This brine will be able to get the final shield by the opponent. And what I can do now is I'm just going to let this move go through. I will be able to just go down here from this. I will be able to farm them all the way down. And I can shield up this move, or should be able to get to another move against the Obstagoon. And that should be pretty fine. They go into the Obstagoon immediately. One foul play should be already enough to knock them out at this point. And we will be able to win this game here as well. Next opponent, we will see the next opponent with some Zubat wings at the back. We see another horrible lead here with the Mawile. Mawile can be a little bit of a tricky one, especially the Shadow version with the new move Fairy Wind, as this thing is pretty damn decent in the current meta, I think. Like, this thing going to be pretty nice. But we will see them going for an Iron Head here, as we can shield this up. We see a Dragalge coming in, and Dragalge doesn't really want to get hit by one Shadow Ball, so I'm going to predict this, go for one Poison Fang, get the shield. And I'm going to go for another one here, a little bit too early, but I don't know if they know my move count, and they do not know my move count. So I am able to get both shields and get a double defense drop on the opponent here. Trying to go for another move, I get to another Poison Fang, which gets the third defense drop, and this is looking pretty damn nice. As we can now go into our Sableye, we're going to shield this move up. It can be an Outrage, and it will be an Outrage. So we are now shieldless, they are shieldless, and we see a Mandibuzz coming in. This is not as ideal as I want it to be, but we will see that this return going to do a ton of damage. I will be able to go for another fast move and then swap into my Toxapex, and Toxapex should have a pretty decent time here as this foul play comes through. We will see that they are staying in here. They go for another charge move, going to be another foul play. They are out of energy kinda ish right now, and they go into their Pokemon here, what's called the Mawile there, and the Mawile goes down to 1 Brine. Mawile doesn't do any damage towards the Toxapex, so you always have to be prepared for the Toxapex if you build a team around Mawile. Otherwise, you're going to have a pretty tough time. You can use your own Toxapex though, which would help. Next opponent, we're going to face a Shadow Charmer in the lead, and we face Kaiwei Chang in the back. This kind of tells me it's a double coffin team again, because Charm and Kaiwei Chang together kind of say that you most likely have another coffin in the back. Let's see what they're going to go for. They're going to go for the Psychic here, which allows us to go for 1 more Shadow Ball. The Shadow Ball would knock them out, and this Shadow Ball will knock them out. As we can go ahead and go for 1 more Poison Fang against them, we should get the final shield, and we of course have our Toxapex in the back, which will be able to have a pretty decent time against this Pokemon, as we can now realign, we can farm down, we see the NiRiain, and we can swap out into our Sableye to go ahead. I should let this move go through. It's going to be the Centum, and I will be able to win this game pretty damn easily at this point of time. We kind of got hardwalled in the beginning, but because we were able to flip switch, we were able to win this game. I think I would have been also able to win this game without flipping switch, just because Toxapex is pretty damn strong in this meta. You will be able to do some super effective damage against the NiRiain if you have a shield advantage, so that's pretty nice. We have a decent lead here against a different Toxapex from the opponent here from Swampyard, which is a very strong player. They are usually always on the top of the leaderboard, so let's see what they can do here. We see the Brine coming through, still doing a ton of damage. I can go for my move here, which is going to be the foul play again, which will put them pretty low, but they actually win the 0 shield scenario, which is kind of crazy because their fast move is resisted and Brine is horrible, but they have just the better stats. We see a Jellicent coming in. I'm going to go for the bait here, as I predict them to shield this move up. We are clearly at the Shadow Ball, they know this, but they also know that I would bait. So I'm just going to go for another move here, going to be another bait, and I will be able to farm them down later on then with my Sableye, I guess. Going to let this move go through, going to be a Shadow Ball, and I will go actually into my Sableye and try to farm down. I'm pretty sure it's a Bubble Beam, and of course it is a Bubble Beam, and I will be able to still farm down here as we see the opponent going into their own Toxapex. I have 2 moves stored here, and we see a Sableye coming in. We have 1 shield, they have 2 shields. It's going to be a tough one here. We will go for 1 Brine, we will be able to get them pretty low, and after the next Brine they most likely have to start shielding something. I'm going to let the move go through, going to be a foul play. 1 more Brine comes through now as well, which will be able to get the shield from the opponent. I have 2 moves stored in the back still, which is important to know. I will be able to let this move go through still. Going to be a return. I have a 1 move here coming through, our foul play comes through, and we will be able to get the first shield. We can go for another one. They thought that I don't have as much energy. I will be able to knock them out, and I also will be able to now to farm down this Toxapex in time, as we still have a shield here, and win all games with this team. So this team seems to be very strong. Let me know in the comment section what you actually want to play for this cup, and we will see you later for the video when the cup actually drops. So see you then, bye!